Hello everyone, my name is John Papadakis and I'm an Azure Business Development Manager for Ingram Micro. Welcome to part 1 of the 8-part series called Azure the Partner Opportunity. This series of webinars will cover the partner opportunity for selling cloud solutions with Azure, explore cloud economics and the managed services provider business model, provide an in-depth overview of sales and marketing best practices for cloud solutions, and finally, we will end with an in-depth discussion of Azure pricing and packaging. Today, we're going to cover marketing trends and our guidance on starting a cloud practice for Azure. Overview of what is to come with this webinar series. There will be 8 sessions. Today is the first one. And we will focus the discussion on how to prepare your business to start selling Azure cloud solutions and how to succeed. Feel free to ask questions throughout. We will respond with a Q&A at the end and follow up on email if we are short on time. We're going to start with some trends. IDC has come up with some interesting statistics. Within 12 months, more than 50% of SMBs with 10 or more employees will have adopted some public cloud infrastructure. 37.5% of companies with 10 to 19 employees have firm plans to implement cloud solutions within the next 12 months. We know SMB is a major growth opportunity for CSP partners, and we want you to be able to take advantage of this. With changing business conditions, we have seen that more SMBs adopt technology that can help them adapt to COVID or invest in technology to set them up for long-term success. In dark blue, you can see the technology that customer started using. In lighter blue, you can see the technology that customers had increased usage. These are SMBs that are learning how to adapt their business practice and make sure that they are preparing themselves using robust technology. We're trying to see what does this matter specifically for us. That is because most small and medium businesses do not have resources to implement these technologies themselves. They see the value of the technology and they understand that it can help move their business forward, but they are going to need a trusted IT advisor that can help them implement a new technology. Since the start of COVID-19, more than 50% of SMBs have started or increased their usage of managed services. This is where the opportunity lies for Microsoft partners, and this is where we want to talk about the managed service provider business model and how you can get started selling cloud solutions. Now we're going to see where the market is going. Let's start to quantify this opportunity. We have seen thousands of partners start selling Azure solutions for the first time in 2 years. We at Ingram Micro are helping partners develop these cloud practices every day. We know that although the opportunity is growing at a rate, it is only just starting. If you look at Microsoft's existing customer base, there are almost 350,000 customers using Modern Workplace and security products. This could be something as simple as Office 365 or some of the more advanced SKUs like M365 Business Premium. We also know that there are 15,000 customers using Azure solutions at the moment. We'd like to focus on the difference between 15,000 and 350,000. We would like to help a lot of our customers that are currently using Modern Workplace to get into Azure. A lot of SMBs understand the value of implementing Azure cloud solutions. They are in changing market conditions, and it can help them adapt and be more agile. We want to enable our partners to get out there and help them make the transition into those cloud solutions. We have a massive opportunity to help these customers, and our job is to help you get prepared to do so. There is a 657 million opportunity in SMB, according to Microsoft Cloud and data. We need to start by helping customers understand where is the value in Azure and how you can help them with their most pressing IT concerns. Customers in today's environment need to work from home. This started with adapting to remote work because of COVID-19 and lockdowns. But as we move into the future, we are seeing more businesses are trying and thinking about their long-term hybrid work strategy. Now we're moving away from needing to set up infrastructure just to connect the network to how do we have a secure IT infrastructure that help our employees be productive while working from home, but also manage security and prevents against external threats. Customers also need ways to manage their infrastructure remotely. They need ways to keep their business agile and competitive. And they need to do all of this without increasing IT resources. Enabling remote work is a big theme and one of the most common customer asks. Azure AD manages identity and access management from any location, and AVD, Azure Virtual Desktop that is, provides great end user desktop experience that can be customized to their needs, that can also be available through any qualified device or through an app. One story I love hearing was one partner was making the sale pitch for Azure Virtual Desktop. They could not get the customer to understand the value before having a meeting with the CEO. They said to the CEO, I see you have an iPad. How would you like to not have to come into the office on weekends, but instead be able to access all of your documents securely from your iPad at home? That was enough to spark the conversation, and they ended up making a sale. As a partner, you can really make it clear and apparent how these technology solutions will change the customer's life and daily working conditions. The second one, market conditions are changing as consumer patterns have also changed, and businesses are forced to find new routes to market. With Azure Apps and data, you can build agile business apps that can use bots and can be personalized for specific user types. A lot of SMBs have had to adapt to selling through e-commerce channels, which is a heavy lift on an existing ERP system. And it helps if you have a quantified and clearly planned data storage plan to connect the applications, and that is something that can help customers adapt so they can meet market changing conditions. To reduce their IT budgets, you can help customers reduce the on-premises footprint so they can pay only for what they're using and reduce or remove on-site data centers. Finally, security is top of mind for consumers and businesses. Azure offers secure infrastructure and built-in security. The security controls make sure your workloads are well protected. With Microsoft, you have the capability to offer customers a full security suite that can protect access, device, and data. This will come in great when you're integrating existing Microsoft 365 security suite into Azure Security. Okay, let's have a look at a case study where a partner helped a customer adapt to COVID, but also the customer came back better than before by adapting to new technology. We're going to talk about Hamilton Beach branch migration to Office 365 and Azure Virtual Desktop. When the pandemic hit, Hamilton Beach was looking for a way to keep their employees secure and connected while working remotely. They also needed to control access to their ERP system because they had both internal and external partners that needed to have access to the application. Hamilton's partners found an opportunity to pitch a migration to Azure Virtual Desktop to meet these needs while saving money over competing solutions. They were able to talk about cost savings because with Azure Virtual Desktop is the only system that gives you Windows 10 multi-session. Hamilton heard that pitch and they decided it was going to be in their best interest. And with the partners' help, they were able to adopt Azure Virtual Desktop and launch the new products in 2 days. On the other side, employees are connected through Teams and Microsoft 365, and Azure Virtual Desktop makes it easy to manage access to the ERP system through identity and role-based access control. What I like about this story is that it really shows how partner identifying a migration trigger focus on the immediate needs, but then pitch a solution that could also save them money and push their technology stack a step further than maybe their initial needs that they were looking at. We'll talk about the second market trend, which is a really big shift for those working in the space for a while. That is the importance of data when talking about cloud migrations. Customers are aware of the need to modernize data, so much so that in a recent survey, SMB customers stated that data has grown beyond the capacity of the existing system. They listed data as a top adoption driver to move to the cloud, and this is a significant market trend. And the first time the customers have very directly mentioned data modernization as a primary motivation for cloud adoption. Customers have understood the most valuable asset they hold in a lot of situations is their data, and they need a robust system that can capture this and help them move their business forward. Customers are saying this not because they want to move to a SQL warehouse, for example. They want to get insights from their data. They want to be able to use that data to make more driven decision making, and they want to use it to be able to connect to more advanced application that they use for customer outreach. So when we think about this would be a great way to have a conversation with your customers around their data journey. It is important to know where they fall in the lens of the data modernization. We can see that the first step on looking at this information is what data we need to collect. This is about understanding where is data coming from, where are you going to store it, and how to keep them together to make sure you have everything at one place. The data, of course. The second step is hindsight. Once we have the data, we can start to use descriptive analytics to describe what happened. Moving up, this is only when we get into the analytics space, where we can see diagnostics, where we can use diagnostics to understand not only what happened, why did it happen, how well did it happen, what will happen in the future, and how, as a company, we can actually influence what will happen. This comes down to predicting customer behavior, organizing your products to make sure that you meet the market demand, and then being able to align your resources or your product strategy to meet those needs. Most customers are right now in the first step. There is a lot of uncertainty about how to store data, where different data is coming from, and there is not a lot of rigor around ensuring best practices to even start the journey towards the advanced analytics. This is where you can come in and provide a lot of support to our customers to show them the steps they need to transfer their data estate and start making better informed decisions on the other side. That leads us to our digital feedback loop. Only companies that enable data-driven digital transformation can unlock the benefits of this loop. Organizations that have been able to unlock these benefits provide the foundation for successful digital transformation. At the heart of the digital feedback loop is the customer data. When you apply intelligence to this data, you enable better decisions and transformation processes. With these outputs, you can create better experiences for customers. You can help employees work better, and that leads to more data that continues the cycle. It is a virtuous cycle for how your employees work, the products you offer, customers, and how you can fine-tune operations, whether it's supply chain, accounting, finance, or marketing. to meet the needs of customers and employees. When companies are able to do this, they are better able to understand customer needs, engage with them in new and meaningful ways. They can transform their products based on the experience of end users, and this could be a change in physical products, which most people think of when they hear of changing products. But it could also be a change to a restaurant menu or a retail store seasonal sales. Third, it can improve employees with real time data. It can empower them to help them take the right decisions and be more agile. This can be as simple as sharing a Power BI dashboard across finance, engineering, and sales. With all the departments looking at the same information, it makes it easier to make those decisions. Finally, it allows you to optimize operations, to anticipate and meet forecasted demand as well as internal infrastructure needs. This is sort of the high-level theory of what is there, but when we get back to practical applications, the benefit of getting this right is significant. Harvard Business Review did a study and found that organizations that embrace data-driven transformation experience a 54% increase in revenue performance, 44 faster time to market, 62 improvement in customer satisfaction, and 54 increase in profit. Relative to their peers, they have just moved much quicker to market. They have been able to meet customer demand and they found ways to make more money doing it. This is kind of the way we say that data is important in today's world, and we want to help you unlock your customers' potential to use that data to drive their business forward. We're going to continue with a quick case study. We're going to see how a company was able to bring this to life and change their business model. Like many companies, Kent Watersports had to change the business model due to COVID-19. They had to adapt from selling their family-friendly water and snow products, primarily in large orders to distributors, and those distributors would sell in retail stores. They had to switch from a B2B to a B2C, selling directly to customers primarily through e-commerce. This was a big switch for the company. They had to process a much higher volume of orders since they were packaging smaller order sizes in more volume. It had to be worked out during the middle of a pandemic. They identified a need to better capture and store data. They wanted to integrate into a modern ERP system and then democratize the data across their employees. They decided to do this by implementing Dynamics 365 Commerce, supported by Azure Data Lake Storage, and connected it to Power BI for democratization. This was no easy task, but they aligned their stakeholders, and after implementation, they saw an increase in business activity, increased inventory, and fulfillment visibility for both employees and partners. By taking that step to understand the planning process and put the data where it needed to be and integrate it into a modern ERP system and set that across their employees, they had much better insight into where the orders were going, how to plan efficiently, and one of the best parts of the story is they reduced their customer service cycle something like twofold or 70% because they had so much better tracking and inventory management. This is a story we like to talk about because it really does show a company shift to a modern sales channel, and they were able to do it with a connected story between cloud products. Okay, now we'll take a step back and look at the Azure product ecosystem and where a user or partner can get started with Azure. Many partners already have experience with Azure. So whether you have used it or not, that is because M365, Dynamics 365, and Power Platforms all run on Azure. So if you have used M365 Dynamics or Power Platform, you have experience with Azure. So Azure is the infrastructure for all these products, just like it will be for the solutions you will build for your customers. One thing to call out is that these products are bundled and then sold on a per user per month basis in a very familiar sales channel. When we think about selling Azure solutions, we often think about the ability to sell specific IaaS or PaaS solutions. Azure is the platform that you are using to build the solution that may be a combination of resources that provide business solutions for customers. It's a little bit different as a model than selling M365 and Dynamics at the start, because when you're creating a virtual machine, it's built up based upon consumption. So you have thousands options you have to specify, and then the charge can vary with use. It's not nearly as simple as selling Dynamics or Microsoft, because it will be variable based on customer needs, and prices can fluctuate. Our goal is to take these resources and make it more digestible for companies. When you're building Azure solutions, you can either start from scratch and put the resources together, or use predefined templates or third-party apps from the Azure Marketplace. A common Azure solution you sell to the customer is Azure Virtual Desktop. I will probably talk a lot about it more in this conversation, as Azure Virtual Desktop is a combination of different Azure resources. So first of all, you have virtual machines that help create the host pool. You have networking solutions to connect it to your own premises network, and you throw in a little bit of Azure Active Directory to bring it all together. You can also bring in different backup services. Those individual resources come together to create the package or the solution you sell to the customers. The reason we do this is because the amount of variability allows you to create truly customized solutions designed exactly for your customer needs. There is an unlimited variance in how you design your solutions, what sort of resources you add, and the features you combine. Our goal is to help you create bundle solutions that meet customer needs, but help you scale to other customers quickly and efficiently. The next component, when we're thinking about putting these resources together, is that Azure as a platform has a lot of tools that help make it easier for you to build and consume the solutions. Two things we will call out. One is Azure Policy. You can use Azure Policy to make sure that what you're building and your customers are using fall within specific bounds. So you can set up virtual machines only to be created with a specific area, or you can allow only specific types and size of virtual machines. So you can ensure the best type of solution for your customer. The second one is Azure Monitor. Azure Monitor allows to actively manage and look at all your resource utilization across a customer and all of your customers. This helps notice trends and make recommendations for optimization. So with resources and these platform tools, the goal is to combine them into a bundled cloud solution. And this is where customers would see Azure Virtual Desktop come together. And then you as a partner can package this together and sell them as a managed service or as intellectual property through the Azure Marketplace. There's going to be a lot of architecture and design on the backend as you combine these resources for the customer needs. But we want to take that abstraction away from the customer and just give them a fixed user per price package that they can purchase. If you're going out to sell Azure Virtual Desktop, in reality, there is going to be a lot of fluctuation based on usage. How many host pools you have, what sort of parameters you design. But when you want to offer your customer, what you want to offer to your customer is, for example, £100 per user per month bundle, and that comes with Azure Virtual Desktop, possibly Microsoft 365, security features, and other features that makes it easier for them to comprehend. So Azure Virtual Desktop is just one example of a solution you can build for customers. When we start to look at the breadth of Azure services, you can see just how much you can build for customers. It is important to ground ourselves and understand that we are going to have a plan moving forwards. But you can use Azure for almost any of your customer needs. And it is built with near limitless scalability and integration into existing services. Partners across the world are designing intelligent solutions to solve all kinds of customer problems, and we're excited to help you start or continue your journey with Azure. And now we can go to questions.